episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, in our last episode, we had the game against Sochaux, and we managed to, well, lay down a beatdown on them, which was good, and it carried on our Europa League successes a little bit. Now, I said I was going to do the Manchester United game in this episode, and then when I actually came down to record this, I thought to myself, that seems like an awful lot of games to put into one episode, and I also felt like I was skipping too much of our Europa League stuff, because it is nice to play against some different teams from all over the world. Or Europe, obviously. So I figured, no, actually what we're going to do today is we're going to do the game against Midtjylland. I believe it is pronounced Midtjylland. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It is one of those weird ones. I know that it's spelt differently if you actually spell it in Danish, if I recall. There's the A-E letter. I can't remember how it's actually pronounced. I don't speak Danish. I speak some Swedish, but not Danish. So it's, yeah. I know there's similar languages, but I know that there's some massive distinctions with regards to some of the alphabets. So yeah, we're up against them today, and I decided to do that instead of the Man United game, because I don't know, it just felt like we are going to do the Man United game in the next episode, not the Midtjylland second leg game. But then after that, we'll do Fenerbahce. Like that, it just means that I felt we were skipping too much stuff. And it also meant that the episodes would have been very, very long. And like, as much as there's nothing wrong with doing long episodes, and I'm sure that's, if you appreciate long episodes, sometimes people, you know, if it's like a 35-minute one, sometimes you just need a nice couple of 20-minute ones, sometimes just to get the pace going a little bit. So that's what today is going to be, a relatively short episode. That being said, I do still have some admin, because who doesn't love a bit of admin? So someone asked me in the comments of an episode a little while ago. I'm probably going to go reply to the comment after this anyway, but if you haven't seen that, then someone asked me who Norman Millington was wanted by, and I can tell you now, it was Manchester City. If someone could set off the massive surprise horn somewhere, that would be just glorious right about now. So yeah, Manchester City pretty much want everyone. So yeah, there is that. Right, next on my list of things to talk about is the Livecom special went out on Saturday night. Now, I'm recording this on Monday morning. Obviously, you're not going to see it for a day or two still, probably. In fact, no, I think you'll see this one tomorrow. So it's the first one I've actually recorded since that went out, and I really did appreciate, like, the likes and the comments. It was really, really nice, and I'm glad you guys liked it. I know it was long, but, you know, I did warn you, if I was going to do it, it would end up being long. Like, I actually cut down, like, 2 hours and 20-something minutes of actual footage to cut down into that, you know, just cutting out loading screens, and oh man, it was a tough one, but I massively enjoyed doing it, and I hope that my outbursts in that one weren't too irritating, so to speak. So yeah, there's that. What I wanted to ask you though is, like, were there any specific things that you liked about the Livecom episode? Things that I don't normally do that stood out as something that you actually genuinely really liked and you'd like to see more of? I'm just using it as a kind of bit of market research of things I could maybe do in future episodes. Maybe start incorporating some stuff into the current episodes I do for my normal stuff. I would like to do another Livecom special, perhaps for the 150th if we get there for Pompey, and maybe one for Red Star as well when we hit 100 for that too. Although I am worried that they might end up falling on the same day, and then we have all kinds of problems because I'd end up having to put up like 4 hours worth of uploads, and we don't want that because that's a lot of shit to watch. So there you go. Yeah, if you could just let me know, like, anything you liked about it, then feel free to drop it in the comments to this video, and I'll be happy to see what you have to say about it. I also wanted to shove in here a question of the day, and this is kind of sparked by something that happened in my Red Star save, but I know that most of you probably watched this more than that, or rather, there's more people that watch this one, so I like to ask the question on this video anyway. So basically, my question is, it's sort of a double-edged question, like a two-parter. So first is, what is the most number of clear-cut chances you've had in a game? Like, just in general, like, it doesn't matter whether you won the game, lost the game, whatever. I just want to know, because, like, we had 16 in a game on Red Star, which was mental. Admittedly, we won the game like 11-0 or something, and it was in a competitive game. It can't be a friendly, it has to be a competitive game. I'm curious to know how many you've managed to create. I know it doesn't mean much, but at the same time, it's still a reasonable stat. And I still don't agree with people that say that that's a meaningless stat. If that's a meaningless stat, all stats are meaningless. Otherwise, why would they exist? Like, they're not meaningless, they mean things. They are literally a representation of physical actions as data. Therefore, they carry meaning. You know, over the course of a season, if you're shooting more and creating more chances, you're going to score more goals. It's as simple as that. Therefore, you can read into that what you like. But obviously, I'm not saying you should score every clear-cut chance, otherwise there'd be no need for the stat. But I just feel like we seem to be missing a lot of ours, and that's worrying for our striking force. I feel like we maybe should even have more goals than we already do. So there we go. And the second part of the question is, what is your biggest ever aggregate win? And mine, I got in my Red Star save, and that was 21-0 on aggregate. So what is your biggest ever aggregate win in a competition? So those are your questions of the day. So drop all that stuff in the comments. I'll be like wading through those later, since there's quite a lot of stuff, I know. Right, let's get into the games this month. We've had only 2 now, of course, because I noticed that this game was a little bit closer than I imagined. But it's a bit of a mixed bag. Today is a day of mixed bags in general. We were at home to Arsenal, and if you recall, the back end of last season we had a game against Arsenal. I think it was away though, or it might have been at home. No, it was away, wasn't it? Didn't really play very well against them, and they didn't play that well either. This one they were slightly better, and I should point out they were slightly better. But as you can see, we had more shots, a couple more on target, same number of clear-cut chances, although admittedly one of ours literally came in the 94th minute. But it was this goal here from Aaron Ramsey that won the game for Arsenal with the goal on the 18th minute. And maybe we were a little bit unlucky to lose this. I think a 0-0 draw probably would have been a fairer result in this one, or a 1-1. And it's a bit of a shame that we didn't manage to come up with the big goal, but shit happens basically. And they played a very interesting formation that I'd not come up against before, and I didn't really know what system to play against it, so I did go with our 2 up top, which maybe wasn't the right move. I also saw someone suggested me retraining my centre-backs to play right and left back as well. Like, I understand why that would be logical, but at the same time, I also really don't think that would be a good idea, purely because I'd have to use a lot of training time to actually get them to do that, and that's training time that I'd rather be using working on their defensive capabilities. Also, but the main reason is they don't really possess that. A lot of them don't really possess particularly wonderful abilities to be fullbacks. Some of them are okay, but my point is that I'd rather have good fullbacks than centre-backs that have been retrained to be fullbacks as well. It'd be great if we had some really multi-purpose players, but we don't. And I think it's fine just having some decent fullbacks on their own merit, so to speak. So that's basically why. I probably answered that in a comment too, but I figured I'd address that now in more detail, just so that you don't feel like I'm fobbing you off or anything like that, because I wouldn't want that at all. Right, so yeah, we lost 1-0 at home to Arsenal. It was disappointing, and so we've had a couple of disappointing results in the league this year. Admittedly, 1-0 at home to Arsenal, I guess, isn't the worst result in the world, but, it could have been better. But then we went away to Swansea, and my goodness, 3-1 looks like we dominated this game. Well, I'm telling you, we dominated even more than you think. As much as you think we dominated this game, add 10 more onto that. It was a mauling in terms of just the amount of chances we created against them. It was phenomenal. Look at that. 8 clear cut. I know, yeah, whatever. But 8 decent opportunities where we were right in front of goal, and their goalkeeper made some spectacular saves against us. It took until the 24th minute when Santos scored with his 3rd goal of the season. We'd already had a couple of decent opportunities before then. We were playing our DM system for this one, so the one defensive midfielder. And this one here was great work from Millington there. Good strike, blocked. Robert Gray, and it's well saved by Archer. But unfortunately, he's not going to be... Well, he is in the danger zone. So anyone who gets that reference, massive kudos to you. So yeah, Robert Gray made it 2-0 to us there. On 55 minutes, Swansea, they had some shots in this game, as you can see, but unfortunately, their goal was, it's a great hit from John Joe Shelby. It's kind of reminds me of the, well, not really. No, in fact, never mind. It doesn't remind me in any way of the goal he scored against Southampton yesterday, in the sense that it was just a bit of a decent hit. A decent hit. Peralta's ball over the top here after that, who'd come on as I don't know what happened there, he just fell over, but Millington's so composed and just rolls it into the net here for 3-1, and his 7th goal of the season. So he's getting right in on the action, as you would expect to it. Yeah. So King Norman, who... I don't know if any of you, some of you may have seen the picture I posted on Twitter of King Norman, which I'm almost tempted to put in as his, in-game face, basically. If you haven't seen the picture, here it is. There you go, enjoy that, yeah. I know, it's probably shit, and my Photoshop skills are toilet, but that doesn't make any difference. I just had some free time and felt... Yeah, that's how boring I thought the second half of Chelsea versus Manchester City was that I made this. Genuinely. Right, moving on. Moving on to today, basically, where we're back in the Europa League. It's a competition we're doing well in, and that is nice to see. Now, just take a little look at the squad. Top goal scorer for us is Norman Millington, with 7 goals in 10 matches. Still not bad. Notice, though, that number 2 is tied between Robert Gray, Santos, Marcio, and Ali Burrell. But to see Robert Gray as centre-back in there with 3 goals already this season, that lad can take a shot. I tell you, he's been good. He's decent in the air as well, amazingly. Assists, of course, Santos is top there with 5. Player of the matches, Santos with 4 player of the match appearances out of 9 games. That man is seriously, he's a ratings grabber. He's incredible. Yellow cards, 2 for Peralta, Wallace, and Verstraeten. No red so far. Average rating. Look at that. Santos has an 8.31 rating after the first 9 games this season. This man is a god. Not God, he is a god. I'm starting to wonder if maybe Norman Millington might have to become the god at some point soon. Griffiths has actually played a couple of games. I think he started the Arsenal game. because Van Os, who, yes, I know it's Van Os now. Thank you for the people that corrected me on that one. I did want to know, and I'm glad you, in your droves, came to tell me just how wrong I was pronouncing it, but I did ask for it, and thank you. So it's Van Os, which is what he will be called from now on. So let's see what else we've got. Interceptions. Verstraeten, Lopez and Robert Gray, all fairly close on that, which is good to see. Key passes. Santos, of course, dominating on that one with 52 already. Key tackles. Miguel Lopez with 9. It's a bit low, but then again, we've been doing quite well in games, so there's not been a lot of tackles necessary. Key aerial challenges for Straighten. He is a big man with 25, and of course mistakes. Peralta's made quite a few errors so far this year, but he's still, you gotta love Porno Stash. How can you not love this face? I mean, I love the fact that his moustache, it looks like a clip-on moustache. Like, he looks like Groucho Marx, and that's good. So let's get into today's game against Midtjylland. Now, what kind of system are they going to play? We're at home, so I think it'd be good if we could just go for our sort of, our strongest tactic and most attacking one is our 2-striker tactic. A win here would put us on to 7 points already, and a win for Sochaux could potentially put us into a really strong position. 5 points clear of dropping out there. So we're going to drop back across to this tactic here. Who have we got fit? Burrell, Van Os, Santos, Peralta, Gomez, Lopez, Verstraeten, Gray, Vega. It's pretty much about as strong a team as you're going to get. The one area that I'm really looking to strengthen now in the summer, or maybe even in January if I can get the money right, is this right-hand side. Like, the only reason Wallace is still playing there is just because Worley's out injured at the moment, or he was, but he's still coming back from injury, and we just haven't got anyone that can really fully play there at the moment, and it's a pain. Because we did need to. I just wish we'd been able to sign that Archubia guy, because that would have, I think, made our squad pretty much complete, and really would be ready for this season. That's our one weakness. Having another guy like Santos on the other wing would have been amazing. But I think had we got in Champions League football, we'd have been able to get him, but we haven't, and I'm going to have to sort of go back to the drawing board on that one. But time will tell. Where's the other? There's another guy. Lucarelli, of course, is decent for that position. Oh no, he's not, because he's useless as that, and I think I already am training him for that position as it is. Yeah, I am training him, but he's not got there yet. So it's going to take him quite some time before he can feasibly play in that position. So let's get into this now. I'd like to think that we're at home, so we should be able to come up with a decent victory over these guys. I don't know quite how they rank, but I can't see them being better than Sochaux and Fenerbahce, really. And we've beaten Sochaux comfortably and drew with Fenerbahce in a game which I thought we probably could have won. So for me, this is a completely winnable game for us, and I'd like to think that we're taking the Europa League seriously this year. I want to see if we can win it, because it might well be our route into the Champions League if we don't get top 4 this season. But then again, if we don't get top 4 this season, I'm worried that the board might genuinely have my head, and seriously, I'd be very angry if we did get the sack for not achieving those stupid objectives this year, because they are completely unrealistic. Like, no board would request that, and it's just absurd that would even be a part of the game, because it is not realistic. Like, it just isn't. If they wanted me to challenge for the title, then they better be giving me like 100 million in transfer funds, because we're Portsmouth, or at least on wages. That's been the main issue, really. Like, it's taken such a long time to get our wage budget up to scratch with a lot of the other teams, because each year we're increasing it slowly but surely, but it would take us another sort of 5 or 6 seasons. Oh my god, they're in here and they've scored. I think that's their first shot on target of the game. It's the first shot of any sort of the game, I have to say. There's a good chance, and they put it away well. Can't really fault them on that one. We've not started this game well. I was talking over it and then realised that they were actually about to score a goal. Should have cut that out, really. But Staring's it behind. Good first touch, good finish. Lucas Vega, nothing much he could do about that. Disappointing performance, but maybe we're about to get straight back in it. It's Wallace. And can he put a good ball in? Bowl across? Please don't shoot. Please don't shoot. How was that a clear-cut chance? There wasn't even a shot. That was not a good opportunity. That was not an opportunity. He's practically on the goal line. Okay. Whatever then. We're looking quite decent still, I think. Maybe that was just a little blip to start the game. Burrell here drops it down for Van Os. Gomez, Santos, and Burrell with the header, and amazingly, Ali Burrell wins himself a header. His 4th goal of the season. So Millington has 7 goals this year, and Burrell already has 4. It's nice to see that Ali Burrell is getting chances and getting goals. He's the ultimate backup striker, really, for me, because he just never complains. Santos with another brilliant ball. He's just such a good player. I think genuinely Santos is probably our best player, though. As good as Millington is, and he is great, Santos is just the package. He's got goals in him when you need him, And he's got, well, as you're about to see, so close to getting the goal there. But he's also got assists, and like I said, he just gets good ratings no matter what. Look, he's already on a 7.8. He's not even scored the goal, and he's got a 7.8 rating so far. That's just how good he is of a player. We probably, okay, we're going to get Borja Gomez off at half time, because I'm not going to risk him. We'll get Peralta on, or Ivancic, one of those. Millington, good finish from Norm. It's 2-1 to us now. Millington's 8th goal of the season. We're 2-1 up against them now, and we've pretty much got what we deserve. Ali Burrell will take an assist on this one too. Great driving run. Millington does well to touch that, and I was surprised that he got so much power into that. It's the daisy cutter of a shot, but we'll get to half time and then get Borja Gomez off. And Sochaux are beating Fenerbahce as well, which is glorious. Let's just do this first. We'll get Borja Gomez off and get Tony Ivancic on. Just move some stuff around. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I could... No, we'll go with Tony. He knows what he's doing. Also going to just quickly adjust these. Yep. Always something to adjust for the second half. We're 2-1 up now, and we're... not cruising. A 3-1 would be cruising, and I'd like to think that we probably do have more goals in us in this game. When you look at the sort of... Here we go. Another chance for Santos to put in a solid performance for us would be great. Since he loves a good opportunity. He just loves playing football, and I like the fact that he likes that. Vanos. It's good to see him back as well. Millington in the box here. Can he turn and shoot? He can, but it's cleared. Vanos here. Shoot. Go on, son. Peralta. Burrell. Millington. Well saved. A couple more chances there for Pompey. Really, probably do with getting one... Just making it 3-1 to sort of kill this game off. I don't want a late equaliser from the Lopez Souza, and it's cleared away again. And Robert Gray will this time intercept and clear that up. Goes back to Santos. I think... Oh, my life. Really? Another one? All right, then. Thank God we got David Francois. He can be a little bit dodgy at times, but I still think he's got potential to be a decent player. He just needs to learn the game a bit more. That's 2 substitutions we've already had to make through injury. That's not really ideal. I'd like to hope that neither of them are going to be out long term or anything. That's quite a poor ball, actually. Unless... No. I was hoping for maybe a terrible defensive error, but we only seem to be the ones that make those. Or win your header, win your header. Robert Gray, again, he's just a header-winning machine at times, despite his height. Actually, his heading is very, very good, but his jumping reach is poor. So I guess if he gets a run up, he's good. Or a step ladder. So yeah, 2-1 up to us. It's a decent performance so far. I'd take 7 points from our first 3 games in the Europa League, frankly. I think we've got plenty more. Oh, goalkeepers come out here. Millington. Oh, what about that for a finish? Or is it Burrell's goal? Please don't be Burrell's goal. No, it's Norman Millington. That finish was royal. I'm serious. What about that for a finish? First time. Dink. And unbelievably, you couldn't be more precise than he was with that goal then. That is insane. That is very impressive. I don't know what their keeper was doing, though. That is a completely different question. I'm going to just quickly check the opposition instructions just to see if... No, Sylvan's got no suggestions for me. So we are now 3-1 up here and thoroughly deserving of it. Admittedly, that third goal was something special, though, from King Norman. Proving that he can do it on a European stage, of course, though. Not that he didn't prove that multiple times last season. It just took him a while to get going. All the way through, and Linda will keep it out. So, yeah, I mean, then again, it's still only 2-1 to us on the clear-cut opportunity, because that certainly wasn't a clear-cut opportunity, but he certainly put it away. Ivancic there, back to Peralta. Vanos, up to Norman Millington, who can hold the ball up well. Runs it into Burrell. Is there a ball through the channel for Wallace? Oh, and Linda makes the save. And we are starting to really pummel them now, and I think there might be, if anything, more goals in this game for us, and that'd be good. Good to get the confidence up. Burrell, and it's cleared away. And Vanos will bring it down. Out to Santos here. Can he whip it in, or just drops it short for Vanos? In for Ivancic. Lovely football from Pompey here. Vanos rather. Whips it across. Millington with the header, and that's over the crossbar, and very nearly a chance for the big hat-trick. He's very nearly on 10 goals this season already. I've got one more substitution, and I don't really know who to make it. I think it's probably... Apologies, that was Facebook sound in the background. I thought I had that muted. Actually, no. We're going to bring on Ola Aftret for Vanos, because he's just a little bit unfit compared to some of the others. So we'll just give him the last... I just want to give Aftret some game time as well, because I know that he's got that potential. I want to try and get him more first-team football this season for us, basically. Ideally, you know, we've got a few good players in that position now, and I want to make sure that we use them, basically. So we've got Vanos, we've got Aftret, and we've obviously got Tercio coming in next season as well. And those guys are going to be the ones that are fighting for that position, instead of, you know, Griffiths and Rusonda, basically, as they get phased out and will eventually leave the club. So Aftret needs to get some first-team football this year, and I think he's going to do a good job for us when he does get the chance. Ivancic, a rare effort on goal from Tony Ivančić. I think 3-1's a pretty fair result, really, when you look at it. Wow, we've had a lot of half chances in that game. They've obviously defended well in that sense, but for the most part, we've been definitely on top. I mean, they scored early and gave me a bit of a shock there, but in the end, we've come through with flying colours. Wow, their kit's in the game, that's cool. Portsmouth 3, Midtjylland 1. So, pretty much as good as you're going to get. Goal for Ali Birrell and an assist. Millington with 2. Oh, bugger. So there you have it. We are top of our group, as you'd expect. And, well, I mean, Fenerbahce must have turned it around. Which means, you know, it still hangs in the balance a little bit, but we've got some good games to come, and I think we'll be sailing through. We had 44 shots in that game, I've just noticed. Holy shit. So there you go. In the next episode, of course, they'll be doing the Manchester United... No, actually, there's only like 2 games in between there. Now, that's my... No, I'm still going to do the Man United game because it is an important one in the league for us this season to test ourselves out. So we will come back and do that game. So guys, if you like what you've seen, please drop a like on the video. And if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for the game against Manchester United. Bye-bye.